हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणि विचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे Krishna. So yesterday we answered very two fundamental questions. One is we are made like this, and if we act in a particular way, why there should be a reaction for it. This is the question Duryodhana he sarcastically makes this, that this is how the creator created me and I'm acting like this. So how can I be punished? And same thing Krishna also says that Nigraham Kim Karishyasi. Everybody acts according to their swabhava. Why there should be some Nigraham? Why we should forcefully restrain? But then Krishna himself explains in Bhagavad Gita how we have to overcome these lower tendencies and act. So Duryodhana and Ashwatthama, Dusyasana, Karna, they acted according to their Swabhava. Bhima and Arjuna also acted according to their Swabhava. One is praised and one is condemned because they are ready to accept the authority and will of Lord. And whenever it is told that you are not supposed to do, and they accept it, like Arjuna, he was in great trauma, and then he said, okay, if you want me to fight Krishna, I'll do it for your pleasure. So he acted according to Swabha only. But the consciousness, what do you say, the wiring inside, the programming inside is different. They don't have this doership mentality. They don't have envy. Instead, they have love. There is no arrogance. There is determination, but not arrogance. So, like that, they are completely filled with so many wonderful qualities. This is actual difference. So, Krishna is telling, don't go with I like, I don't like. Even though I have my swabhava, I cannot do things according to what I like. I have to do according to the instructions that are given. So in that way, I can get myself free, and always understanding it is what is Krishna's will. Like when Gandhari went through the problems, she cursed Krishna. You killed my sons. You know that, and even Kunti also knows that the children are killed of Pandava's children are killed. That time Krishna knows. That's why he says, let us go and stay somewhere. In the night he takes them out because he knows that they are going to be killed. Now Kunti Maharani knows that Krishna knows it, but he didn't stop. And that does not made Kunti Maharani upset or even Draupadi upset. Arey, you know that the children are going to die. Why can't you do something? Why can't you change it? But they didn't, but their faith in Krishna increased. Okay, this is what you want, Krishna, we are okay. But they don't condemn, they are actually ready to accept whatever Krishna. That is why Krishna is also so much sold out to Pandavas. He is always with Pandavas. No matter whatever they are going through the life, their faith and trust on Krishna does not reduce. And that makes Krishna to be always with Pandavas. He also want to be with them because they love so much. I make them go through so much trials and tribulations, but still he made them stay in the forest for so many years and they had to stay in incognito. Incognito is such a great difficulty. I cannot live with my identity only. They said, okay, we have an identity. We are servants of Krishna. Wherever we are servants of Krishna. We don't want a big identity. I am a king, I am this, I am that. They are ready for that. So this is what made Krishna. And two more points I just wanted to discuss. Like Krishna, he can do whatever he wants. That is Krishna. He can change everything, and he has many. He does anything. He creates this world, destroys this, while remaining unchanged. He is infallible, Achyuta, and Sudha Goswami. He is amazed that people mistrust and doubt when they hear the miracles performed by Krishna. but they take the great miracles of creation for granted. Even this creation itself is a great miracle. So Krishna is Sarva Ashraya. Sorry, Sarva Ashraya Ashcharyamaya. That means he is completely reservoir of all wonderful, inconceivable qualities. He is incomprehensible. If we try to understand him through logic and reason, it is not possible. The only way we can comprehend him is to bow down to him and accept his inconceivable omnipotency. And this is actually what Krishna is. And another important here is that there should be some chastity that will help us to gain fearlessness. If I am very chaste to Krishna, then I will be fearless. Like there is Queen Kunti, because Kunti or Arjuna or Pandavas, anybody, Krishna, anytime he does good, they become very grateful. Their love, their gratitude, everything increases for them. Like what happens usually, people they are only on a they only the superficial meanings of things. They when they slide through their life, and we usually notice superficial meanings of things and events, and we are small things like pity, worries, joys obscure the truth from the it's like ripples on a lake. It prevents us seeing from what is in the bottom of it. But sometimes what happens, there are some severe shocks in our life or great sorrow. Then it reveals us the underlying intricacies of the events previously hidden from our sight. Like it shifts our consciousness basically. Yesterday I was talking to one boy, just he recently got married. He has to go through very great crisis in his life. I was personally seeing it's really very tough, very, and he just got married 2 months back, my 1.5 month, and he was sharing very nice realization. He said, Prabhuji, this beauty and attraction is only for 2 3 months. After that it is all responsibility. And I said, just married. He's a very young boy, just married 1.5. He already got that realization. And he did not become agnostic. He said, I don't want another life. This life is sufficient. I want to be serious. And he's very sincerely trying to read, understand. He's trying to do in his way. He's chanting also. But I understood at this age, because he's very qualified and very successful person also materially, if it is age, people are completely absorbed in their own all superficial things. But because he underwent very severe crisis in his life, immediately the consciousness, there is a shift in consciousness, and we suddenly began to see behind everything in this world there is Lord. And what happens is suffering has sobering effect, especially a person is pure. That is the advantage. Why we say that prapya punya kritam lokam suchinam srimatam gehe. So this punya, people who have very pure heart, they have performed some pious activity. It is also purifying the heart. So the veil of Maya, the Lord's illusion energy, drops from the eyes, and then we can see the truth behind what is happening. At that moment, the prayers are also born in the heart. Like when Mataji, she underwent great tragedy in our life. So the tragedy entered her life with death of a near and dear ones. And then there is so much pain she was going through. She was crying day and night. She was drawn into sorrow. And by some mercy, she met a very intelligent, nice devotee, who was having so much faith. Now, this association of this lady's attitude, with deep, soft voice, she cries with compassion, and then she gave. Then what happens? Something amazing happened. Inside this Mataji who was going through the pain, her heart changed in her heart. And now what happened? Her perception transformed. She realized that God is all merciful and love, and she could see and feel the situation and herself in a completely different light. She felt that actually what happened, she could see the three modes of material nature that are operating. Rajoguna, which is creating everything, Tamoguna, which is destroying everything, and Sattuguna, which is sustaining the creation. And she would look at a flower, and as if it moves its entire life unfolds in her imagination. The way it sprouted from a small seed, becoming a seedling, flowered, blossomed with pride, and then then it's dwindling. And she could look at a person and somehow visualize the imprint of predestination, what on his forehead. She could see the sense how his past, present, future, and she could almost physically feel the the effect of time. And what happened is this revelation filled her heart with so much fear. She realized that she is seeing how God acts in this vast world. And she felt an urge to return to her normal situation. She didn't want to see that. Because this vision, Arjuna also said. And immediately, Arjuna, when he saw, he said, my God, this is too much. I cannot see this vision continuously. This is actually the vision of this world. Now, people who are Virat Rupa worshippers, they want to get this vision. Behind this entire universe is a single spot. What is that? And we ask Krishna, who are you? And Krishna says, I am the time, the greatest destroyer of the world. So she could see the time. So Arjuna uh, rejoiced at what he saw, and the same time he was scared also. The difference between him and us is that the veil of Yoga Maya, Krishna's internal energy of love, fell into the eyes, while the veil of Mahamaya, which covers our eyes. So for Arjuna, the covering, why he is not able to see the Virat Rupa is because of his eyes are covered with love, and for us it is covered with Mahamaya. So the observer beholds death, including his own. It's very terrifying. Now, when the terrible side of Lord's majesty was revealed to Arjuna, he began to pray. Because prayers, they spontaneously pour from the lip of an overwhelmed person from a uh, when the familiar world collapses in front of him. So, in the time, the consciousness is somewhat it is changed. It sees the reality, right? And even the agitated mind, that is what is happening. There is chattering, ever agitating mind, and with it is filled with thousands of thoughts and desires, and sometime it falls silent. Now, out of that silent, the prayers come. So when the mind is calm and silent, the mind, it is usually there is chatter of our mind which prevents us from praying to God. Even if I'm standing in front of deity, some chattering is going on in the mind. Arey, wait a minute, let me take darshan. He says, no, no, no. When you will go do this, when you will do this. Because prayer, it is born from the depth of such a material mind, uh, are like bubbles of the like what happens, the gas bubbles that are coming from a swamp. Because true prayer, it can only be born of a silence beyond the mind. So it is said that even at the epicenter of every hurricane, there is a point of silence, the so-called eye of a storm, they call. Like that, every tragedy that comes into the life of a person, it carries a point of silence where a person can feel God, the presence and like that of God, and he start praying. So even in Orthodox Christianity also, there is a tradition of they call intellectual labor. So this is a practice. What they say is that this is a concentration on the Jesus prayer in the mind. This is basically they are trying to concentrate, and the same thing what we are doing, trying to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because we want to make our mind silent so that the prayer should can come from our heart. That is why we wanted to do this. We wanted to silence means stillness. So true chanting of mantra or praying of God can only take place beyond the chatter of our mind in an internally a silent state, right? Then we will be able to pray and we begin to feel the presence. So when some devotees they have this experience, maybe some of you may, we continuously chant 60 rounds, sometimes eight after 80 rounds without any distraction. You continuously chant. After 80, 90 rounds, you start feeling a great sense of peace. This is actually what we have to experience. There is some calmness and peace we can experience if you continuously chant for whole day. And sometime in Nirjala Ekadasi or some days when Ekadasi you don't have anything, just keep on chanting, chanting. We really experience. Mind becomes very cool, calm. It does not, it stops chattering. Because presently our consciousness it is fully focused on the events and objects of this world that are constantly agitating our mind and give us a sense of happiness and grief. That's what we are caught up with, the sense of happiness and grief. And we take these storms which occur in our mind, which are occurring on the surface of mind to be our life. That's all. This is only life. And we are afraid of silence and solitude because we feel fear, emptiness, and nothingness in this. So what is we don't have experience. So because we are living on the surface of our consciousness, we are afraid to go into depth. We don't want to that silence in chanting, because silence can chanting can be experienced, but mind don't want it. And it says, okay, okay. Some thoughts are coming, and somehow we completed chanting. But just hear the holy name. Don't let mind wander here, there. Just the holy name. That is actually, uh, this is what we need. Just focus on holy name. Nothing we need. Just have to hear the holy name. So there are fears and doubts, and which are, they can be clarified through the scriptures, because all the scriptures they all state that God is residing in the depths of our heart and beyond happiness and grief. That is where we have to. And these prayers, and especially here Bhagavatam, if we see, these are very interesting situations where devotees go through, like Vidura and all. They are kept in such situations so that we all can learn some nice lessons from their life, and how they lived when they went through this crisis, how they lived their life. This is very important. So here there is conversation that is happening. So like Vidura was now Vidura's situation is going to be explained here. And it is said that Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, accepted sons of Partha as his kingsmen. So this is the reason we have discussed. Because any situation they are kept, their sons are killed, they are sent into forest, their wife is insulted, and they were many times attempted to be killed, and they have to see all the destruction of their family members in the fratricidal war, and everything happened. But they know that Krishna knows all these things. If Krishna want, he can stop also, right? But Krishna did not do. They did not become upset. Hare Krishna, you know that my children are going to be killed in the night. Why don't you stop? Arjuna knows that Krishna knows Abhinava is going to die today. He knows that because he's Lord. He didn't stop. That does not reduce Arjuna's faith on Krishna. They continue to love. That's why Krishna accepted all the sons of Pandavas as his kingsmen, all the kings of the world. uh, this is what is the situation. So here Vidura is trying to counsel Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Say, "Arey, there is Bhima, there is Krishna on their side, and what are you doing?" Because he was so honest. When we can speak the truth when we are not attached. If I'm attached, say if Vidura is attached to his post, position, the luxuries, the comforts he's getting. He could not have told all these things to Dhritarashtra because if I speak all these things, they will fire me. And Vidura is least bothered. He said, "Okay, you want fire me, fire, but I will tell the truth." That's what is happening here. Why parents have problem with children is because of attachment only. The parents are very quite detached. They are very affectionate and detached. They can train the children very nicely. With affection, they can train. With attachment, they spoil. And it happens for many because even the parents, they don't have the training of sense control and detachment. They are completely attached. If children knows that parents are attached, they will take them on a ride. They know this fellow is attached. So they will do whatever they want and they'll get concessions. And that's what happened to Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra also. Duryodhana knows my father is attached and he used to always blackmail him. Attachment, there is no way we can train properly. There should be affection, there should be attachment, then only there is proper training. That will help the person because we will be able to tell the truth. We will be able to tell what is correct, what is wrong. It's not that we should be harsh. We should be polite and we should be kind and we can tell the truth also. And here, that is what is Vidura is telling. He's not harsh on Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. He's trying to help them out of affection because for Vidura, Dhritarashtra's son and Pandu's son are same only because both are his brothers and half brothers and their sons. So it's not actually out of envy. Vidura is really compassionate. He's very kind and he's trying to explain them, but somehow they didn't understand. Like that's why when Duryodhana he was trying to say that, oh Krishna, why did you support Pandavas? You cheated. I know that you gave the indication to Bhima to hit me here. And when Bhishma was not ready to fight, that is the time Arjuna killed. When Dronacharya was in trance, that is the time Drishtadhyumna severed his head. And Karna, when he was without any weapon, without chariot, that is the time Arjuna cut his head. I know all these things. And still you are saying this what? But for me, you see, I lived a very nice life. I had my enemies, I had my friends, and I gave charity, and I never got defeated in the battlefield, and I am now dying a glorious death. So Krishna says, Are, how are you forgetting? How did you insult Draupadi? How did you try to kill Pandava so many times? And even I myself came as a peace messenger to help you, but you didn't listen. And now you are telling this is what we did. Because the activities, how did you kill Abhimanyu? How did you like so many mischief activities? Krishna lists of Duryodhana. He says, these are all things you did for Pandavas, and you still think you are righteous. And many people have counseled Duryodhana also, not that they didn't counsel. Vidura said, Vyasmarshi said, Krishna says, Gandhari says, many Dhaumya says. So many people say to Duryodhana, not that that is the difference demoniac and devotees. And devotees hear the good counsel, they are ready to take. Even Bhima was very upset. Arjuna is upset, or Nakula Sahadeva, Yudhishthir, but everybody was ready to go for a good counsel. Bhima nature is also very aggressive and he's very, Yudhishthir is very mild. Arjuna was in between. But Bhima was very aggressive, but he was obedient. Even though he used to become angry and shout on Yudhishthir, but he never disobeyed. So this is the difference. We need to, I may have my swabhava, but when it comes to Shastra, Shastra Vijaya Vartate Kamakarta. Nasasiddhima apnoti nasukham paramgati. I don't go beyond the Shastras. I just follow them. I may not like it, but what can I do? I have to follow it. So in that way, we try to hold on the Dharma and Shastra and protect ourselves. So here, Vidura, when he is trying to help the Duryodhana, he is trying to help her. Follow this. This is good for you. But the demonic mentality, it does not accept it. It will try to, and they know where to gain power also. They follow Shastra in giving charity. Karna is giving charity. Left, right, he was giving charity. He knows I'll gain power. For what? To do the demonic activity. That is the problem. Like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, or any of these demonic people, they also follow so many rules. But to what extent they follow? To gain power only. That is the reason when any Shudra is trying to gain power by reading Shastra or by doing tapasya, why did Lord Ramchandra kill him? A Shudra, that is very controversial topic. Why did he kill? Not that he don't want people to do tapasya. He knows that this fellow is unqualified. If he gain power, he will only misuse it, and it is much more dangerous for him. If he gets killed now, at least he is saved. He may get next time elevated birth, but he gets power and he misuses, he will go to hell only. So by Ramchandra killing him, he elevated. But if he takes the knowledge, he will be degraded. Same thing with Eklavya also. By taking away his knowledge, Dronacharya protected him from going to hell. He died in a battlefield, at least he got elevated, and that too in front of Krishna, he went to spiritual world. But Dronacharya understood this fellow is not qualified. That's why. So the point is that Vidra and all, they are trying to help, not why, like we were discussing the story yesterday. When Ashwatthama asked Krishna, give me your Sudarshan Chakra, Krishna, very nice statement. He said, I can give you anything, only if it benefits you. So why Krishna is giving us something, not giving us something is he is giving what is benefiting us, especially for devotees. As this, I am working so hard. Why Krishna is not giving result? Yes, he knows if you get result, then you will get distracted. And that's actually happened to many devotees in ISKCON who became very successful. After that, they left the movement only. And we have this example of Ritvik movement and all. They became very successful. As soon as that person became successful, immediately started offending Guru. This is the danger. Krishna don't give sometimes success to devotees. He knows, I know what will happen. So better you struggle, and without any success also no problem. The success is you will remember me at the time of death. That is the success for you, and you continue like that. So here we will continue some purports. We have to do some. There are some nice things Prabhupada also says, but somehow I instead of taking from purports, I am this is purports only, but I am just trying to take different topics. Any questions, comments on this till now? Okay. Saesha dosho purusha dai vid aste grahan pravishtoyamapatyamatya उष्णासि कृष्णाद् विमुखो गतः श्रीश त्यजास् असौवं कुलकौशलाय. It says that you are maintaining offense personified. So this Vidya is telling to Dhritarashtra. Why he is able to tell? We discuss because he is detached. That is the thing. You are maintaining offense personified Duryodhana as your infallible son. But he is envious of Lord Krishna. And because you are maintaining a non devotee of Krishna, you are devoid of all auspicious qualities. Relieve yourself of this ill fortune as soon as possible and do good to the whole family. Vidura is so bold. He's telling, Prabhupada writes nice purport. He says, a good son is called apatya, one who does not allow his father to fall down. The son can protect the father's soul when the father is dead by offering sacrifices to please the Supreme Lord Vishnu. This system is still prevalent in India. After the death of his father, a son goes to offer sacrifice at the lotus feet of Vishnu at Gaya and thus delivers the father's soul if the father is fallen. But if the son is already an enemy of Vishnu, how in such an inimical mood can he offer sacrifice unto Lord Vishnu's lotus feet? Lord Krishna is directly the personality of Godhead, Vishnu, and Duryodhana was inimical towards him. He would therefore be unable to protect his father, Dhritarashtra, after his death. He himself was to fall down because of his faithlessness towards Vishnu. How then could he protect his father? Vidura advised Dhritarashtra to get rid of such an unworthy son as Duryodhana as soon as possible if he was at all anxious to see to the good of his family. Such a nice point. You are inimical. How can you save? Better to have a son who is devotee of Krishna so that he can offer some oblations. And for us, what is the oblations we do for our ancestors is on the day of their when they left their body, that is the day we need to feed Vaishnavas. That's what we do. Vaishnava appearance and disappearance, what we do? We do Pushpa Anjali and then we do Kirtan Bhajan and then offer them Arti and then feed Prasad. We may not do everything, but we can feed Vaishnavas on the name of our ancestors. That is the best way of doing Shraddha. Anybody want to do Shraddha? Call Vaishnava. Because how does the Pinda food we offer to our ancestors goes when we feed Brahmanas? But then we are feeding Vaishnavas who are much more superior to Brahmanas. So it is much better way. They can come, do Kirtan, have Prasadam, and Haribol. And Prabhupada writes nice point. He says, according to the moral instruction of Chanakya Pandit, what is the use of a son who is neither a learned man nor a devotee of the Lord? If a son is not a devotee of Supreme Lord, he is just like blind eye, a source of trouble. A physician may sometimes advise the extraction of such useless eyes from their sockets so that one can be relieved of constant trouble. Duryodhana was exactly like blind, troubling eye. He would be a source of great trouble to the family of Dhritarashtra as foreseen by Vidra. Vidra therefore rightly advised his elder brother to get rid of this source of trouble. Dhritarashtra was wrongly maintaining such a personified offense under the mistaken impression that Duryodhana was a good son, able to liberate his father. Why people want son? Because they can liberate the father and continue. They can continue in the heaven and enjoy, or they can get liberated. That's the responsibility. Putra means who is helping a person to get save from the punna heaven. Sorry, hell, hellish conditions. So this is what happens, and Vidra is trying to help. Arey, you are unnecessarily maintaining. You will only if a person knows the purpose of life, then for him, okay, let me get rid of my son. But for them, it becomes attachment because it is my blood. So it becomes very difficult to get rid of the blood body, this attachment. Itva, itva chaivanstatra shyodhanena pravritta kopaspuritaadharena asatkrita sat sprahaniya कष्टा sakarnanujasaubalena. He says that while speaking thus, Vidra, whose personal character was esteemed by respectable persons, was insulted by Duryodhana, who was swollen with anger and whose lips were trembling. Duryodhana was in the company of Karna, his younger brother, and his maternal uncle Shani. They are Dushta Chatushta, four evil people. Yeah, Anga also left his son and he went to the forest. No, Prabhupada writes, it is said that giving good counsel to a foolish person causes the fool to become angry, just as feeding milk to a snake only increases its venomous poison. Saint Vidra was so honorable that his character was looked up to by all respectable persons. But Duryodhana was so foolish that he dared to insult Vidra. This was due to his bad association with Shakuni, his maternal uncle, as well as with his friend Karna, who always encouraged Duryodhana in his nefarious acts. So these four people, this is already is demonic, and you keep a demonic association. Then it reinforces the quality, and also it will justify what you are doing. That is the greatest difficulty everybody we all have is we justify what you do. I say, I know, I did right. Everybody knows they are right. But the problem is if you keep bad company, they'll reinforce that justification. At least sometime they may feel guilty. Maybe I'm doing wrong. But if you have bad company, even that guilt also is not there. So it's much more dangerous. That's why at least good company is there. Even if you are doing wrong, sometime you may feel guilty. Maybe I'm not supposed to do like this. Right. क एनं तत्रोपजुहावजिह्मं दास्यासुतं यत् बलिनैव पुष्ट तस्मै प्रतीपः परकृतः आस्ते निर्वासयताम् आसुपुराच्युश्वशान. He says that who asked him to come here? Duryodhana is insulting Vidura here. So this is a very heavy statement. Who asked him to come here? This son of a kept mistress. He is so crooked that he spies in the interest of the enemy against those who support he has grown up. Toss him out of the palace immediately and leave him with only his breath. So Prabhupada writes nice purport. He said, when getting married, the Kshatriya king would take several other youthful girls along with the married princess. The girl attendants of the king were known as dasis, an attendant mistress. By, im- by intimate association with the king, the dasis would get sons. Such sons were called dasi putras. They have no claim to the royal position, but they would get maintenance and other facilities like the princess. Vidura was the son of such a dasi and he was thus not counted among the Kshatriyas. King Dhritarashtra was very affectionate towards his younger dasi putra brother Vidura. And Vidura was a great friend and philosophical advisor to Dhritarashtra. Duryodhana knew very well that Vidura was a great soul and well-wisher, but unfortunately, he used strong words to hurt his innocent uncle. Duryodhana not only attacked Vidura's birth, but also called him an infidel because he seems to support the cause of Yudhishthir, whom Duryodhana considered his enemy. He desired that Vidura be immediately put out of the palace and deprived of all his possessions. If possible, he would have liked him caned until he has left with nothing but his breath. He charged that Vidura was a spy of Pandavas because he advised King Dhritarashtra in their favor. Such is the situation of palace life and the intricacies of diplomacy that even a faultless person like Vidura could be charged with something abominable and punished. Vidura was struck with wonder at such unexpected behavior from his nephew Duryodhana, and before anything actually happened, he decided to leave the palace for good. This is actually very important. He said, just leave him with only his breath. So, all the property, all the things for all these years, nothing remained. So this is actually what happens in material world. So there is some comment here. Innocent persons, though they may not commit any sinful act, are punished as a consequence of their mere association of evildoers, just as fishes in a separate pond are destroyed by the snake destroyers along with the snakes. Okay, this is from Valmiki Ramayana, Marichi to Ravan. Yes, so this is actually what happens in wrong association. And here, can you imagine you just served for whole life and you said now get lost. You are fired. And you are fired with what? Only your breath. That means all your possessions, everything are taken away. Your house, your possessions, whatever you have earned all these years, nothing you can get. You will just have breath, just get lost from here. And Vidura is not young, is in the elderly age, but still said, okay, good. That is Vidura's greatness. Why he could do it? Because he is detached. That's how we should live. Like when I am living, when I am enjoying some facilities, I should always be conscious. Without these facilities, will I be able to survive? Then only I should enjoy. If I get, because if I enjoy certain facility and I get used to it, then when the facility goes away, it causes great pain and 100% sure it will go away because we cannot enjoy anything permanently here because this is not a permanent place. Anything, any relationship, we have to live. Any facility, we have to live. Anything that we are enjoying with our body, we have to give it up. So everything is going to go. That is why we need to learn this control. How to get out of this? By regulation. That is the formula which Krishna gives. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chesta. So by regulating, we'll be able to overcome these attachments. Okay, thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? We'll end here. Hare Krishna. Okay, Shiva Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. Prabhu, one question I had, Prabhu. Dhritarashtra, was he also part of all the kind of plans made against Pandavas, Prabhu? Was he?
Yes, yes, yes. He was also part of it.
Uh, okay. So even Varanavada Mandal, he was aware, is it, that these people are going to do that?
He's,
Okay. Hmm.
he is just supporting his son because Duryodhana is to blackmail him. He knows it wrong. It is wrong.
Hmm.
Just to support. In that way, he did not plan, but he knows the plan what they are going to do.
Hmm. 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 Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you.